So you guys get up there, you knock on the door,
Hmm.
a minute goes by, and then at some point you guys breach the door. And you guys doing the standard, you've got a ram type of deal to breach the door.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm on the left side of the door. The door swings from right to left. My part or the breacher's on the right. So he can hit the door, and as it comes open, I can see through, to the part that gets exposed. It was a breezeway, so it's kind of a small area. It was an eightplex. It had 4 up, 4 down, a metal staircase that went up by her door. So the breacher was right there at the staircase underneath it. And when he hit it on the third hit, it came open, and I cleared what I could of the right. And once I ran out of real estate with my visual, you've got to, at some point, you got to go in. And the thing that people leave out on no knocks, everybody assumes if it's a no knock warrant, you're not announcing yourself. There's never been one time on a search warrant that even on no knocks in the past that we've done, where you're still not announcing yourself once that door's hit, because you want them to know you're the police. At this point, the gig's up, the door's being hit, the noise is being made. So now I'm letting you know I'm the police, so you don't shoot me. That's the whole point of it. And so the fact that people say, okay, well, they did knock, because Kenneth Walker, the guy that shot me, did say they knocked, but now they didn't announce. First is they didn't knock or announce. Then it was, well, they knocked for a minute, but they didn't announce, so he didn't know who we were. And all that's just asinine. And I'll tell you some more stuff about him in a minute. It goes to his character about how much he lies. But, it's people got to understand that just because you, quote, eliminate no knocks doesn't mean you're going to change the effect of what a criminal is going to do in their mindset.
Right. So you clear to the right, you turn to the left, and then what happens next?
As soon as I step in the doorway, so I step in the door frame and come around from my right to left and down this narrow hallway, probably 25, 30 feet, very dark. There's some ambient light coming out from the TV in the bedroom. I got a rail mounted light on my pistol, because, again, our department is so great. They had changed the rules about 5 years ago where we couldn't use long rifles on search warrants or shotguns. Everything's pistol, and there's no optics, just hard sights. So come around the corner and down the hall, I see something totally different than I'd seen in all of these warrants. And when something happens different, your mind's just going, oh, this is bad. So I look down the hall, and there's 2 subjects overlapping one another, one taller, one smaller. And this is what it looks like. And one tall head, one short head. But then I just see the barrel of a gun. As I'm coming from right to left, I stop at him. I never even got over to Breonna Taylor, because everything's happening in milliseconds. I mean, this is going down quick. I go right to left, and I see the pistol, and boom, it's over. He shoots. And so I get off 4 rounds as quick as I can. I go behind the door frame to my left, come back around and put 2 more in where he had jumped into a bedroom. They hit the door frame there. And by that time, I reached down and felt my leg. And I'd seen so many people shot over the years. I knew this wasn't just a through and through, because my hand was just saturated with blood. And so I knew it was some artery that had been hit. So I even announced it to the guys right there at the door. I said, man, I've been hit. It hit my femoral. And I went down on my butt, because I'm thinking, in my mind, you think some weird stuff when this is happening. I'm thinking, if I stand up and keep moving, I'm pumping my blood harder and it's going to pump out. So I go down on my rear end. As I do that, Miles steps up over me, and he's putting rounds down range so I can get out of there. And so I jump up and I hobble off. And as I go to the curb, I stumble over it because my left leg didn't really work, and the muscles totally shut down at this point. And I step off the curb and go to the ground. As I'm going down, I look over, and my buddy Mike is laying down between the cars. He was the last one in the stack. And when the shot rang out, he stepped back and tripped over the curb. And so I go down, I'm looking at him thinking, oh crap, Mike's been shot. So when I hit the ground, I holster my weapon. I said, man, are you all right? He said, I'm good. So I'm like, I need a tourniquet. I just started saying, I need a tourniquet. So I'm trying to put pressure on it. I'm telling him I need a tourniquet. About that time, my lieutenant comes up, grabs my vest from behind, slides me out from between the 2 cars into the parking lot, and they get working on my leg.
So somebody there, one of the guys, they end up having a tourniquet and slapping it on you?
Yeah. Originally, my lieutenant didn't have one, because I love the guy, but you know how lieutenants are. You're lucky to find their guns. So he pulls his belt off.
Aren't you a lieutenant?
Well, our departments changed the rank of sergeant to lieutenant. There wasn't a promotion. They just got rid of the title. All sergeants became lieutenants. All corporals became sergeants.
That would be nice if the pay bump came with it.
Nope. Nothing.
See,
here's what it was,
cares?
and not to break. Literally, you know what? Listen, I hate to stop this story, but our department, all the supervisors at those ranks got to vote, and what they were saying was our lodge was saying, It's how we can compare ourselves to other agencies that are roughly our same size for pay. And, because these agencies refer to their sergeants as lieutenants. And so, of course, all the corporals on the department, they were like, hell yeah, I want to be called a sergeant. And a lot of the
Yeah.
sergeants were like, hell yeah, I want to be called a lieutenant. And I was one of, and I'm not joking, a handful out of hundreds and hundreds of supervisors that voted for it. I said, hell no, I didn't want it. I wanted to stay sergeant. So that's why I'm always still Sergeant Sean Stick
Hey, Sean, you know what fathers love doing?
Sergeant. I got a whole list of things I like doing as a father.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what a lot of fathers like. They like peace and quiet. And one of the places they could get some peace, and it's not so quiet, is mowing the lawn.
Yes, mowing the lawn, whether it be the yard out in front or behind the house or the one below on the body
Right.
or on the backside of the body.
Right. Or any of those places. But if you're going to mow the lawn, what do you need?
You need a lawnmower, the
Well,
new lawnmower 4.0.
4.0. It's a big one. They sent us some of these. We tried it out.
Not on each other. We've done it in the own privacy of our home.
We did try it out on each other, but we're not going to tell everybody that. And man, these are awesome.
No, they're fantastic. Listen, I have my entire adult life, I have been a fan of body maintenance, I guess would be the term to use.
Hygiene.
Body hair maintenance, hygiene. Exactly. It's for a hygiene thing. And I've gone through different things through the years. And this Manscaped 4.0, the lawnmower 4.0, I'm sorry, that was sent out to us. It's a great little box. Came with all kinds of stuff, man. You got the 4.0 in there. You got a little nose trimmer. You got a pair of underwear.
Yeah, and you've got that ball deodorant. Excuse me. You have that no square deodorant.
Yes, the no. Yeah. So it's a hell of a kit that they send out. And listen, for all our listeners out there, whether you are a man yourself and you're looking for something to keep the body looking trimmed up, you yourself have a father, the young, the wives that are out there and so forth, get on manscaped.com, get yourself the kit, get it sent out to the house.
And keep your man and your daddy.
Wow. Anyway, whether you're using your dad or your daddy,
keep them trimmed.
Keep them trimmed, and you can use code STICKS on there as well. STICKS, manscaped.com.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, go back.
So he puts this leather belt. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, what was going through your mind after you'd been shot and it was femoral and you had dropped to? I mean, you did the right thing. You shouldn't be running around on that leg. That does cause a little bit more blood to flow through there. So what's going on in your mind where you're being dragged backwards?
Well, the whole thing, I just kept saying, dude, I need a tourniquet. I need a tourniquet because I knew I had a time frame, right? What is it, 5 to 8 minutes, something like that?
Right.
That you got to get this thing on. And so I knew time was of the essence, and I wanted to make sure we could find, because I didn't know if there was one or two holes. I had no idea because everything happened so quick, and it was so loud in that little breezeway because of the metal and all the stuff that I wasn't sure who shot what, at this point. And so I'm thinking, for some reason, God kept my mind calm, and I remember everything that happened. And I was telling people what to do. Go there, do this, stop that. And I remember hearing Brett going, they've got a rifle. They shot with a rifle. And I'm laying on my back as they're trying to get this tourniquet on. And I said, I remember leaning up and going, no, it was a pistol, because I remember seeing it. And so just some of those things are just, instinctive. When you've been a boss for so long, you just can't help yourself. And so they tried this leather belt, and my buddy Mike, who had stepped on my leg to try to pull it up because they couldn't get it tight. And there was so much blood, it just kept slipping. So finally the guy with the tourniquet came up, they got it on me. And I remember I felt more pain in my groin and my lower back than I did where the bullet actually went in. And so as they put the tourniquet on, I'm like, wait a minute, get a knife, cut it up. I want to make sure you're high enough, because it felt like it was higher than where they were putting it. And I knew that was shot there because that's where the blood was coming out, but I didn't know if the bullet had gotten lodged up deeper in me or what had happened. And I was wearing a wallet in my front pocket that had a little metal clip in it. And that bullet came through my leg, and that diverted it from hitting my femur, but it went over and ripped through the femoral artery. And so they ended up taking, I think, 8 inches of that out and replacing it with a vein. But while I'm laying there, I'm thinking, man, I really just got shot. So I remember pulling out my phone and calling my wife, because I thought, I don't want her to get that knock at the door and be freaked out. And so I called her. It rang, went to voicemail. She had taken an Ambien that night and was out. And so I started to leave a voice message for my family just in case I died, because you don't know. And I was doing that, and Mike looked at me and went, "What are you doing?" And you can hear this on video, because by that time the body cam guy had gotten there with the beat guy, and he yanks out of my hand. He said, "I'll take care of that." Well, then he forgets and leaves the phone on the ground the whole time, because I sit there and gave him my password, told him where my wife was staying, because we had just sold our house and we're staying with a friend. We were in transition to buying this new house, and so they didn't know where she was. So fortunately, one of the other guys I used to work with knew some of our mutual friends, got on Facebook, found out where they lived through Accurate, ran to their house, grabbed them up, took them where she was staying, woke her up, scared her to death, all the typical stuff. But yeah, it was an experience.